Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Also, hello August. It is crazy to believe that we are here, but we are. And you know what? Call me a crazy gardener, but it's August and I still have to feel like I want to plant something, right? Of course, I am North Carolina A Zone 8A. Really not the best time to be putting stuff in the ground around here, unless it's like crazy heat-loving shrubs, perennials, annuals, those kinds of things. But I have got a little bit of a dilemma on my hand. I was turned on by my mama to a fantastic artist who does beautiful like terracotta pottery. And I did go ahead and buy some. So these are some pots from Wakefield, handmade pottery. They are gorgeous. It's an online store. He does different sales throughout the season, but then he'll also have some overstocks that he'll put on sale. So I took advantage of some sales and got some gorgeous terracotta, beautiful pots. And so I've got two different kind of colors. I've got like this, the classic terracotta, right? So I've got two sizes of these, and then I've got a collection of 3 of these guys. Are they not stunning? Absolutely gorgeous. So they came, and I am itching to put some plants in them. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to do some shrubs and perennials, because even though I am in North Carolina A Zone 8A, it really is not smart for me to leave these pots outside during the winter, because they're more than likely going to crack when they have plants in them. Now, if I take the plants out and store them in the garden shed, then they're perfectly fine. But with soil in them and then the freezing and the thawing, they're more than likely going to crack. I do not want that to happen. I want these to last me for a very long time. So the idea is that I'm going to be putting, most of them are all perennials. I do have one shrub that we're going to talk about, but we're going to put them in there, let them grow out for the next couple of months, really, because we have August, September, October. I have a good 3 months that they can be in these pots, and they're going to fill them out. Then at that point, once we get into like end of October into November, I can go ahead and take them out of the pots and put them in the landscape. So that is the idea. Or if I wanted to, I could bring them in as houseplants, right? So I've got a couple of options, put them in the greenhouse, different kinds of options that way. So let's start. I'm gonna have 2, I'm gonna have a sun planting and I'm going to have a shade planting. So in the sun planting, we are going to do the traditional terracotta color. So I have got 2 different, I've got a shrub and then I've got some fun chick charms. So the chick charms, of course, are those sempervivums. And so we're going to fill up the smaller container with the chick charms, gonna do an assortment in here. So they're going to go in here because they do love the full sun. And then y'all, I have got a beautiful gardenia. It is no secret that Jenny's favorite flower is a gardenia. And so this year, gosh, within the last, I would say, month, I have been blessed with 2 different gifts of gardenias. One from Miss Kathy that gave me the variegated gardenia that you saw me plant in the aqua pot. And then this beauty comes from my mama. She ordered this online, had it for a little bit. So it's been hanging out in this. It's somewhere between a quart and a gallon. So I don't know what the official size is of this, but it is a good size. It is a beautiful variegated. It is called Ogon no Hannah. I'm probably butchering that name. This came from gardentreasures.com. Okay, so just to give you a little bit of information about this this gardenia, because I had to look it up to make sure I get all my information right. So it is hardy in zones 8 to 11. So if I want to keep it in a pot, then I can move it, into the greenhouse for the winter, because I am a zone 8A. So depending on the winter, it could get zapped a little bit. So it is also under the name Golden Double Bloom. I will put it up there because I'm probably mispronouncing that. It says one of the best of all gardenias, but it is that variegated foliage. So don't look at it and go, oh my gosh, Jenny, your gardenia is sick, you need to fertilize it. No, it has those chartreuse colors. So the new foliage has the chartreuse, and then it can be variegated as it matures. So it will do a double flower, because I do love my double flowers on my gardenias. Of course, extremely fragrant. Now, at maturity, it can be 5 to 6 feet in tall, and that's going to take about 10 years. So just to kind of give you an idea on that, but she is a beauty, so we're going to put her in the big pot. Then we have got our shade perennials. They are going to go into the 3 lighter colored striped containers. So all of these are quartz. I went up to the production, to the annex, and I shopped the online store. So all of these are available online. So if you like one, you can go ahead and grab it. You can go ahead and get it in August and then put it in a container like I am doing, and they are going to explode. So first, we have the Euchra. So this is Berry Smoothie, and Berry Smoothie is one of those from our friends at Terra Nova. So one of the reasons that I chose Berry Smoothie is of course because of that beautiful foliage, right? So I like the color on this. In the spring, it's gonna be a beautiful like pink, and then it matures to this nice deep kind of maroon red. So that is lovely. Also, it has the Velosa genetics in it. So Velosa euchera are native to the southeast. They can handle the heat and humidity, my friends. They thrive in these conditions, so I love that. Makes them also more cold tolerant in the winter. So this, for the southerners who have the heat and the humidity, if you can find that euchera that has the Velosa line of genetics and breeding in it, then those are going to be good for you. So Berry Smoothie is going to be a shade perennial. So anywhere from part shade to full shade. So that means really 5 hours or less of direct sun. Want to be in the morning, not in the hot afternoon sun. And this is going to be hardy in zones 4 to 9. At maturity, it could be 18 inches tall. That would include the flowers, and then 20 inches wide. So we're going to put her in. Then we're going to plant the hosta of the year for next year. So this is Shadowland Hope Springs Eternal. It is going to be the hosta of the year in 2026. And so you can grab these. Now, if you look at it right now, she just looks like a beautiful green. She's been in the greenhouse, which is very, very bright. It is UV protected, but this is actually going to be a blue hosta. So once she actually gets out of the greenhouse and into her natural habitat, she is going to really kind of get that nice rich color to it. Has nice little wavy edges, and then that cream border on it as well. So Shadowland Hope Springs Eternal is going to go in. Last but not least, we're going to do a Fatsia. We are going to do Spider's Web. And so Spider's Web also comes from our friends at Terra Nova. It is a beautiful, very fast growing. So you can see where those leaves down here, the new leaves are very white and creamy. They've got that green, and then it will turn to have that nice kind of that green variegated look to it. Spider's Web is going to be so much fun because it is going to be a pretty good size. Pretty good size, my friends. Can't stay in this container long. Very vigorous grower because she's going to get 60 inches tall. That includes the flower scape, right? And then like 48 inches wide. I think that says 48. You know, my eyes are starting to go. So it is going to be a nice big perennial. So this is going to do great in my landscape, hardy in zones 7 to 9. So it's going to be more for those southern gardeners, but it definitely is that shade plant, right? So it needs that break from the hot afternoon sun, and it is a beautiful evergreen. That is right, my friends, and has that gorgeous variegation, like I said, and you will grow this in more moist soils. So because it is a fast grower, she's probably going to go into my biggest pot. Now we're going to do a little bit of an experiment today, my friends, because we are all about experimenting and keeping it real here. We are going to pot these up in a new potting soil that I have not yet tried yet. So this is from our friends at Sungrow, right? So Sungrow is where we get all of our professional mixes from. They actually make the Proven Winners potting soil. They do the Grover's Gold that I have used before that I really enjoy. So this is the Sunshine Black Bear. So the Sunshine Black Bear, this is just a 1.8 quart container bag. So it's a nice small bag. They do come in bigger bags, but this is a nice little small one if you want to try it out like I am doing. So for those of us that are concerned about the sustainability of our gardening products, this is going to be a great option for you because this has that exact same high quality standards that we love about Sungrow. However, they're going in that more sustainable route, right? So the difference with the Black Bear is that it has biochar in it. So biochar is going to be a wood byproduct. So they take that from another industry that is considered like wood waste that's not going to be used. They go through this special process that's way more over my head than I can even begin to try to explain to you. But what they do is then they capture CO2 in that biochar. They use the biochar in the soil mix as an aeration. So there is no perlite in this mix, it is the biochar. So as the bag says, the black bear biochar in this bag has prevented CO2 greenhouse gas from entering the atmosphere. So it has that carbon-rich biochar from forest byproducts, organic wetting agent for the ease of watering. It has Canadian sphagnum peat moss, but because everybody talks about peat moss, the sustainability of peat moss, but Sungrow is harvested only from responsibly managed peatlands. So they were very conscious. They're not going in and stripping the land from the peat moss. So we are going to try out the Sunshine Black Bear. It is also good for indoor plants. So if you have indoor plants you want to pot up, this is a great option. So indoor, outdoor plants, hanging baskets, containers, all of the things. So that is what we are going to use today. And then of course back there in the back, I have got my biotone. All of these are perennials and shrubs. So great high quality soil, your biotone, that's all you need. We don't put any other kind of slow release fertilizer in here because these are the perennials and the shrubs. So without further ado, I am going to get these potted up. So basically what I'm going to do is fill up my containers, sprinkle in some of the biotone, get them planted, and then we will go ahead and get them watered, get them put in place, and then I'll meet you back here when they're all potted, they're watered, and in their new home, so I can show you where they belong. All right, my friends, so I got all 5 of the perennials, shrubs planted. They are watered, they are put into their new homes. Cannot wait to share them with you. So let's first start with the shade ones because I put them underneath the forest pansy bed. And as you know, this is probably one of my biggest shade gardens here at the house. I don't have very many. And I already have a collection of pots right here that Mimi helped me with, and so I put them right here beside the Japanese maple. Might have to do a little bit more leveling, but you get the idea of how they are in here. Love that these pots are like a brighter color, so they really stand out quite nicely. Got everybody nice and watered in, and may have to go back and do a little bit more watering because it's hot, first of all. Second of all, just making sure that the whole entire soil is saturated. But yeah, I think they look great right there. They are, some of the plants are a little, quote, lopsided, so I might just go ahead and rotate them, flip them around, so that way they get nice and even. But yeah, love those guys right there, and so just keep them watered and let them do their thing for sure. Now, on the other side of the aisle, we'll flip ever so slowly so you don't get dizzy. Put the gardenia and the chick charms right here. So they are all nice and in here. Got the gardenia right here, got the caladiums behind it. So this was probably one of the biggest pots, and I don't think it's going to take very long for it to fill in at all. It is going to be extremely happy. So we've got that one there, and then the sweet little chick charms. Now, if you're new to sempervivums, depends on how you want to say it, I've got 4 in here. We didn't talk about the varieties, so let's go ahead and do that now. So your chick charms is a brand name, right? And so these guys, the sempervivums, are perennial. They are very, very cold hardy. They absolutely could stay here all winter, except they're in the wrong pot to stay here. So that's why I'll probably just bring them inside, truth be told, and use them as a house plant. Then I'll bring them back out in early spring. So I've got 4 different varieties here. They are also known as hen and chicks because what they do, like this would be the hen, right, the mama, and then she produces these little babies. These are the chicks. Got another hen right here, and those are her chicks under there. You absolutely can snip these off, and these become brand new hens. So that's an easy way to go ahead and have more of them, but that's the deal with these little guys right here, right? So these are all the little chicks. Now, in the summertime, in the heat, your colors are going to be more muted. In the cooler temperatures, they turn bright colors. So for example, back here in the back, this is called Rowdy Rudy back here. But look how that bright color is, that vibrant red. It will turn that color once the temperatures get cooler. So we have that one. Then up here in the front, the more yellow one, this is the Cheeky Charlie. Look how cute Cheeky Charlie is. Deep red center with that really bright yellow on the edge and the tips. So we've got that. Then this little guy right here, or big guy rather, it's probably one of the biggest ones, that is called Chocolate Kiss. I mean, near black foliage on that. And then last but not least over here, we have got a Butterscotch Baby. So a beautiful, kind of the reverse. It's got yellow cream on the inside and then more pinky red on the outside. So they do not require a ton of water. So once I know that this soil is nice and damp, then I really won't water it. I'll just kind of sprinkle it. We are supposed to have a couple of days of some rain. If I need to, what I can do is get rid of the saucer. But when I bought the pots, the saucers came with it. So if I find they're staying too wet, I can get rid of the saucer and raise it up onto some like a stone, or put some stones underneath it so that it drains really well and they don't rot. I'm going to stick my tags down in there so that you don't see them. But yeah, there you go. Now, as a little side bonus, talking about containers, I want to show you this caladium. So a couple of weeks ago, Emily and I, my oldest daughter and I, potted up, planted some caladium corms from Proven Winners. By far, the clear winner as far as vigor and sprouting and happiness level is the new for next year, the Heart to Heart Creme Brulee. Oh my gosh, y'all, I will say it. No, I don't know that. But creme brulee, all right? So creme brulee, is she not unbelievable? Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? This will be a sun to shade. She has been in full sun. I did move her over here so that she can get a little bit of a higher visibility, but you've got those creams and those pinks, just gorgeous. So I will say that it takes a few years, in my opinion, in my experience, for them to get enough of like the new introductions on the heart to hearts. So odds are, unfortunately, we're not gonna be able to find creme brulee. Like, it's gonna be hard to find creme brulee next year in your garden center. So if you happen to see online to get the corms, or you can get the plant and you can get creme brulee and you like it, grab it. Don't wait, go ahead and grab it, because it's gonna be really hard to get. I doubt that I will be able to get them next year. Proven Winners has sent me these ahead of time so that I could test it out. Love it. The Midnight Oil has sprouted. It's just a little slower getting going than creme brulee, because she's just fantastic. So my friends, even though it is August, it is hotter than hot. I am absolutely drenched out here. You can still plant. Yes, you can. I guess it's just in my DNA, but I just have, even in the heat, yes, I want to be inside and be cool, but also I can only handle so much being inside. So I come out, I work in the morning till I can't work anymore, till about lunchtime, and then I'm inside. But you know, I still got to plant, I still got to get my hands in the dirt, I still got to weed, all that kind of fun stuff, even though it may not be super fun when it's this hot and miserable. And it's not really heat, it's the humidity and the dew point. It is miserable. But the plants in these containers are going to love it, because they've got lots of room to spread their roots, and they are going to just flourish in this weather and in their new homes. So just kind of keep an eye on them, make sure they get plenty of water, that they adjust really well, and all should be good. And then this fall I can add them to the garden. As always, we'll see you in the next video, my friends. Bye.